Warning, this video contains team selection and captain choices which some viewers may find offensive.
Hey guys, and welcome back to FPL TV. If you're interested in joining the FPL TV mini league, you can still do so by entering the following code. All the points you've made so far will be carried over, so don't worry about starting the league on zero. Before looking ahead to Game Week 4, let's quickly review my team's performance in Game Week 3. It was a first blank of the season for Ederson in what proved to be a difficult away trip to Wolves, but his teammate Benjamin Mendy still delivered once again, this time through bonus points. Surprisingly, he did this without defensive or attacking returns, further increasing his appeal. These pair now have home games against Newcastle and Fulham next, so both remain great options for the upcoming game weeks. Van Dijk was my defensive top performer, keeping a predictable clean sheet at home to Brighton and making it 3 in 3 for him. But Antonio Rudiger returned another disappointing blank and isn't quite justifying his £6 million price tag yet. The German did come so close to scoring in Game Week 3 though, rattling the crossbar with a ferocious long-range drive. New signing Mkhitaryan blanked on his debut, alongside a 2-pointer from Bernardo Silva and a nightmare minus 2 points from Richarlison. The Everton man was sent off for an apparent headbutt in the first half, disappointing his 2 million FPL owners. No doubt the biggest moment of my game week was taking the last-minute decision to use my triple captainship on Mohamed Salah. The common strategy for the triple captainship is to wait for a double game week in FPL, but that ended up being a bit of an anticlimax last season, so I figured I'd try something different. Liverpool scored 9 goals in 2 games against Brighton last season, and they were missing key defender Lewis Dunk for this fixture, so given this information, and given Salah's impressive stats for the opening 2 games, I decided to go with my gut and play the triple captainship early. Mo Salah had the most penalty area touches of any midfielder in Game Week 3, and also the most shots inside the box, but unfortunately he only returned the 1 goal. 24 points is pretty underwhelming for a triple captain, and anything under 30 I consider a bit of a fail. But on the plus side, he didn't blank, so it's better than nothing, and I'll simply have to move on from that now. Up front, Roberto Firmino delivered some points, as did Arnautovic, who after scoring went off injured, giving me a further headache for Game Week 4. The outstanding performance in my team this week was Alexander Mitrovic, who returned a whopping 16 points. His stats have been superb all season to be fair, so you could say this kind of haul was coming, and my decision to go for him over Zaha has paid off so far. So for Game Week 3, that's a score of 68 points, with a total of 215 points altogether. Without being spectacular, it's a third consecutive score above the average, and gives me a decent overall rank boost up to 166k. So let's look ahead now to Game Week 4 and check out my transfer dealings and team selection. The biggest priority for me this game week, which I mentioned in last week's video, was bringing in Man City's Sergio Aguero. With me currently owning the maximum 3 Man City players, it means I had to say goodbye to one, so out goes Bernardo Silva for the informed Theo Walcott, who boasts some very nice upcoming fixtures. This move now allows me to bring in Aguero, and the underperforming Firmino has to make way. So given this transfer activity, this is how my team is currently lining up for Game Week 4. It'll likely be a back 4 this game week, with budget defender Wan-Bissaka returning from suspension. The Crystal Palace man has a nice fixture at home to Southampton, and in Game Week 1 he proved he can deliver points at either end of the pitch. Mendy, Ederson, Rudiger and Van Dijk all retain their place, with Chelsea and Man City facing especially good-looking home fixtures this game week. My midfield sees new signing Walcott play a struggling Huddersfield, and Mkhitaryan facing Cardiff, a game you'd fancy the Gunners to win. Mo Salah completes my midfield, but likely without the armband this game week. Arnautovic, Mitrovic and now Aguero will be my new front 3, with Aguero almost certainly getting the armband at home to Newcastle. So this is how my team currently lines up, but there are still a few things concerning me heading into Game Week 4. Arnautovic is the first worry, with uncertainty over his fitness for Game Week 4, but I do have a good backup on my bench in Watford's Will Hughes. Secondly, having already spent -4 on transfers, I'm still stuck with the suspended Richarlison, whose price is certainly set to plummet, so I'll be losing value there if I don't replace him soon. The third issue for my side is not owning Chelsea's Marcos Alonso, a player who's returned double-digit hauls in all 3 game weeks and now has very high ownership and excellent fixtures to boot. Another big score from him could seriously hurt my rank. The decisions I'm currently thinking over is either to take another point hit, therefore a -8 to bring in Alonso, or to simply activate my wildcard for this game week and fix a lot of these problems without any cost to my points. Activating the wildcard now would allow me to bring in Alonso, replace Richarlison and possibly Arnautovic, and may even allow me to bring in players like Eden Hazard. If I do decide to wildcard, then I'll definitely be showing you my wildcard draft in a video later this week. But if I don't, this is how my team currently lines up, and I'll post my final team on Twitter before the deadline if I do decide to bring in Alonso. So feel free to come and follow me on there. Good luck to all of you for Game Week 4, and I'll catch you all in the next video.